So in this video, I'm going to show how to shade with pencils. I'm going to use 2B, 4B and 6B for shading, 2B for light tones, 4B for mid-tones and 6B for extreme dark shadows. I always start with the dark tone or mid-tone. First, I make sure I start my shading with the area which would be on top to avoid smudging later on. Secondly, I would create 3 tones for start and then slowly go on to create shades of grey as per the requirement. Key is the observation, where I would create tones from dark to light, especially work on shadows for this particular image to develop the depth of the object. As you can see, I'm giving shades to the details too. Wherever one object overlays another on, there is always shadow beneath it. If the light is thrown from a particular direction, the shadow will always fall on the opposite direction of it. I am also giving very less detail as explained in the previous video. Not much. My main focus in this video is to develop the understanding of light and shadows. The trick for shading is similar to line contouring. As in line contouring, what we were doing was, from dark to light, we were increasing and decreasing our hand pressure. Similarly, when you are shading, you are doing the same process. You control your pressure of your hand and bring tonal variation always from dark to light in a gradual way. The thing that we have to keep in mind is the texture of the object. So whenever you are shading, always move your hands in the direction where the texture is flowing. For example, over here, as these currencies are horizontally moving in that direction, the lines are moving horizontally. So I am also moving my hands horizontally. But for the tape that is on the currency, for that I will use my hands vertically. So we also have to understand that the moving of the hands, or I would say the texture, always depends on the direction you are moving your hands in. The first pile is almost complete. I'm going towards the second pile. So the second pile that touches the first one, the edges I would say would be darker because of the shadow, but the rest of the part is where the light is showering, so I'm gonna make it lighter because there is not much shadow falling on it. However, it's very opposite in the third pile. When you're shading, you can always go back and fill in more detail, increase the color, increase the shade of gray if you feel there is a little more darker tone in it. In the third pile, as I can see, it's quite dark. There is more shadow falling on it from the first and second pile, so I'm gonna make sure that after I have put in the shadow, I give another tone to it which is a little darker. It's okay if you don't want to start with the darkest tone, I understand. For starters, it's quite risky sometimes, so you can also increase it gradually. First, just divide the shadows, make them dark, and then you can keep on increasing the shade by giving it a darker tone. Many ways to make a dark tone. The first process is to increase the pressure of your hand, which I usually do not prefer. The second way is to use a lead like 4B or 6B, which I usually follow. And the third one is, which I think it works really well for starters, is to use the same pencil constantly again and again and repeating it on the same place. That will also increase the gray tone and make it darker. As you would have noticed that as I'm going further down, I am increasing the tone and making it dark because I feel that the shadow is increasing. There is a drastic dark tone which I'm going to be showing in this file especially. I feel there is this dark shadow So I'm gonna make a line and then create a shadow there. So if you want to watch further, go to my next video in order to have a look how it looks when it's completed.